Are you the cheater? What's really going on here? Do people not squat anymore in the public restrooms? Have we lost our way? You feeling that bad? This is a crime. You need to call the police. Hello, little enzymes. Welcome back to Dacia's Digest. Today we will be covering stories about spouses who end up contracting STDs. Now, how'd that work? Before we get into the video today, really quick about my hair. I've gotten a couple of questions in the previous couple of videos. This is a synthetic wig from Amazon. Right now, it's on sale for like $42. Normally, it's like $45 or something. This is kind of like my in-between style. Anytime I'm about to transition into another style, I use this, just, you know, kind of switch it up. Plus, it's synthetic, so I don't keep it in that long, although I probably could if I really, clean the lace and, it can take very, very low heat. So I could, bump whatever. I just don't be feeling like doing all of that. But someone asked for the color. The color is light ash brown. That's what it's listed as. To me, it looks pretty much just like ash blonde. So yeah, I'll put the link in the description if you're interested, but just wanted to say that because I got a couple of questions on it. Anyways, let's go into the video. We are almost at 10,000 subscribers and I want to try to hit it by the end of this month. So don't forget, just double check to see if you subscribed, share the video with your friends, tell your mama about my channel, and let's get into the video. First story, I, 28 female, tested positive for an STD, and I can't find any evidence of husband, 29 male, cheating. Interesting. I'm coming to you all in need of advice on how to handle this situation. I feel like I'm in complete shock and I can't think straight. Any advice on how to proceed in this situation would be greatly appreciated. Background, my husband and I are high school sweethearts. We have been together since 2012 and have been married for 6 years, and we have a 2-year-old. Timeline. January, I got off birth control so we could get pregnant. This was a mutual decision. February, got a severe UTI, got treated and symptoms improved. Doctor's office cultured my urine and confirmed the antibiotics would treat it. March, got another severe UTI. This is a lot of personal information, but I guess we got to get through the details to really figure out what's going on here. She said, I visited the same doctor's office and they said it probably hadn't cleared up and gave me the same antibiotics. May, had my yearly OBGYN appointment and mentioned that I had a bad UTI previously. OB said to come back to her if it came back. Well, it came back, but they didn't have nurses doing urine analysis that week. I don't know. So she prescribed me a different type of antibiotic and said to come in if I have any issues. June, got a severe UTI again. Go to the doctor. They do a urine analysis and cultured it, but nothing grew. I was referred to a urogyno doctor. I go to urogyno and my urine culture comes back normal. After speaking with my mom, she suggests going back to OBGYN to get tested for STDs. At this point, I'm desperate to get any answers. Monday, July 14th, I got a panel done and found out July 17th, I tested negative for everything but trick. And trick, according to Google, is trichomoniasis, a sexually transmitted infection caused by the parasite Trichomonas vaginalis. It is the most common non-viral STI globally. And then there is some symptoms that are listed here. But it is spread through sexual contact with an infected person. It can be transmitted even if the infected person does not have symptoms. All right. So she continues, here is the confusing part. I confronted him and he is persistently saying he has never cheated on me. I kept calling him a liar and pushed him to tell me who it was. I kept reminding him that I have an STD only transmitted by sexual acts and that I have been faithful. I went through his phone. I checked all of his apps, previously downloaded and currently downloaded. Nothing. Wait, previously downloaded. Now, how you do that? She done taught me something here. Previously downloaded. How you do that? If anybody knows how to do that, comment below. That could be useful information in the future. Anyway, she said, I went through his Facebook Messenger, nothing. I went through his Snapchat, nothing. Instagram message, call logs, car, credit card statements, all nothing. He He gave me his phone and said he would do anything to prove he hasn't been unfaithful. I'm completely stumped. We share our locations. In his significant locations, there was nothing suspicious. She went on a deep dive, okay? Call the FBI because they need to hire you. She said, I am going to get to the bottom of this. Now, one or two things could be happening here. Either somehow you got the STD from some other unknown source somehow, or he's just really good at hiding because you literally went through everything you could possibly go through. So either he got a second phone or something. But she covered all the bases. This sounds like something I'd do. You know, I always did want to be a detective, but I never wanted to be a police officer. I guess I could still probably be a private investigator, but I like to get to the bottom of things. I like a good mystery challenge, if you will. Anyway, so in the same post, she updated, Friday, I called my OB's office and asked if there was any other way I could have gotten it, and the nurse told me, no, it's only transmitted sexually. I then asked her when the last time I was tested for STDs was, and she told me in December of 2022, and I was negative for everything. I did not have anything. Because of this conversation, I assumed she knew I was talking about Trick because I asked about it before I asked for my lab. So basically, she's saying I asked her when's the last time I was tested, assuming that she knew that Trick was included in that question. She said also, why would she not tell me Trick wasn't included if that's what we were discussing beforehand? Later Friday, we called my aunt, who is a nurse that works in the same hospital, and asked her, and she said she didn't think Trick was tested for in pregnancy. She had to manually pull up my labs from 2023 and found Trick was not tested for. Friday afternoon, we also both got tested again for it and expect labs to be back Monday or Tuesday. I don't think my husband has cheated, and I have not cheated. I also let him go through my phone, cards, etc., because that's only fair. I have apologized to him for jumping his crap. I also have to look at it from his side as well. He knows he hasn't been unfaithful. And then I all of a sudden have no facts. We are going to start couples therapy soon, and we are also going to bring my child to the pediatrician to get tested for Trick, as we have taken many baths together. If you would have asked me any day before Thursday if my husband would cheat on me, I would tell you 100% no, without a doubt. We are solid. That is so funny. I didn't even think about that angle because he probably sitting over there side-eyeing her. Like, now wait a minute. You're blaming me, but I ain't got nothing. You're the only one that got something. So are you the cheater? What's really going on here? Someone said you need to post in a medical sub. Trick can be asymptomatic in men and women for years. Another comment, although not very common, it is possible that you guys have had trichomoniasis for years and not have shown any symptoms. Since you stopped using birth control, your pH changed, and this may have triggered the outbreak of symptoms now. In any case, make sure both you and your partner get fully treated. But then they say for years, I mean, they've been together since 2012, so 13 years. I mean, I know, they're saying it can be dormant or whatever, asymptomatic for years, but that's a lot of years. Someone said, do either of you go to the gym? It can be transmitted via non-sexual means. Oh, I go to the gym. This is concerning. Damp objects being the primary cause of this type of transmission. Did either of you ever use a gym towel? Oh, no, I don't do that. That wasn't washed properly or sat on a machine with a damp seat? No, I don't do that. While wearing very thin clothing or sat on the bench in the locker rooms? No, I don't do that. Have either of you tried on a bathing suit without keeping your own underwear on or wore a new suit without washing it first? Yeah, no. I don't. Okay, so for you, guess I'm okay. Guess I'm in the clear because I do not do none of that. But that is quite interesting. Another comment, I had an STI test recently and it came back positive with Trick. I had never been tested for this before because it's not on the regular test. I've never had symptoms, and the doctor said I could have had it for years. Apparently, around 80% of people don't have any symptoms. Also heard there's rare cases it can be transmitted by sitting on toilet seats. I don't do that either, unless it's my own. They said ask him to get tested too. Also check your levels. The closer it is to 38, the less contagious. Hope it all works out for the best for you. OP said he is going to go today to the doctor to get tested. What are the odds of it being transmitted non-sexually? He deals with people's dirty clothes, restaurant towels, aprons, floor mats, bathroom soap dispensers, toilet paper dispensers, etc. I mean, if he's not properly washing his hands and all that, and then someone else, now this was a really interesting comment. I'm a high school teacher and am not the only one who contracted trich from the bathrooms at my school. That's how we found out multiple teens were meeting in the bathroom to hook up all at once. First of all, that's disgusting on many levels. Mainly, why are you sitting on the bathroom seat at a school? Bare booty dude, we gotta have a discussion here. Do people not squat anymore in the public restrooms? Have we lost our way? Because, I'm just thinking, how would you even contract anything unless you're bare booty on the bathroom seat, the public bathroom seat? Are people doing that? If you are, I'm judging you. The only way I will ever sit on a bathroom seat is if it is super lined with layers of toilet paper or several of those, bathroom seat covers. But really, there's, few instances where I could find the need to even sit. I'm not even trying to be in there for long in a public toilet. So I'm really trying to get in and out unless I'm sick or something and I really just gotta go, But maybe some re-education needs to be had about public restroom etiquette. Because that's nasty. If you're sitting bare booty on the bathroom seat, that's nasty. That's nasty. And I've heard people try to counter the argument, oh, it's just like the back of your leg, it's not there. Do you know how many, just simply flushing the toilet and all of that water that backsplashes out of the toilet, because some public toilets don't have a cover, all that water that's just splashing out back onto the seat, in the stall, on every surface you touch in the stall that contains feces and, if someone is sometimes blood, a lot of germs and disgusting things just splashing back out. Some of that splashes onto the toilet seat. Not to mention other people's bare skin. Everybody has different hygiene standards. I mean, if you're sitting bare booty on a toilet seat, you already below average hygiene standard, in my opinion. I'm sorry. So, and then for you, it's just, you're opening yourself up to unnecessary problems doing that. It is incredulous to me if people do that. Anyway, let me get off my soapbox. But the interesting thing about this comment of this person saying that they contracted it from the bathroom at their school, OP responded and said, WTF, I'm a high school teacher. So OP nasty too, sitting bare booty on the toilet seat. If that's how she got it. Anyway, final update was we both went and got our urine tested Friday and we both tested negative for trich. We are still going to get rechecked with urine, swab, and blood to be sure that we don't have it. So that's weird. Well, then where did it, I'm guessing, how did she cure it? Was it with one of the antibiotics? I'm confused. Did she ever get treated for it? Did they ever, I'm trying to go through her previous replies to see, because now how they both just all of a sudden in the clear. What happened? I think the husband probably was always in the clear, although, he could have gotten it from her at some point in time, but I don't know. She doesn't say. So one can just only assume maybe she got treated. I don't know. I'm confused now. And the post is gone. So that was kind of an abrupt ending. Okay. Well, we'll go to the next one. My wife contracted STDs and still tried to sleep with me. That's diabolical. I, 27 male, married my wife, 29 female, for 4 years together, 8 years, and we have a son, toddler, together. English is not my native language. Sorry for some error. I did make a post about my marriage problems weeks ago, but it was removed for some reason. So, for context, around 6 or 7 months ago, I struggle with some mental and medical problems that make my libido down to the point we had a dead bedroom for 4 months. About 2 months ago, my wife asked me to open our marriage because she is frustrated and disappointed in our bed life. 4 months, girl, you feeling that bad. Your husband is clearly going through some things at the time. It's been 4 months only, and now you ready to open up the relationship after 4 months? You know they have tools and resources these days that can help you with your affliction. And an open marriage isn't the one I would suggest. But okay, you do you, sis. Anyway, he said she also started acting cold around me before that. She was probably already cheating, to be honest. He said at that point, I was very stressed and anxious, so I agreed to save our marriage, and we had an agreement. She seemed like she was coming back to normal, and I felt relieved. A week ago, she suddenly wanted to be intimate with me again. Oh, she got pregnant. Oh, no. The title says she had an STD. Oh, so what? Let me just keep reading. And I slightly rejected because I was still trying to improve my mental health. She broke out and we had arguments, which she left the house and stayed with her sister. After 2 days, my son started to ask about his mom. I felt awful because I had to lie to him. She didn't answer my calls or texts, so I tried contacting her sister, but she also didn't answer. In the 3rd day, suddenly my sister-in-law contacted me. When I picked up, she yelled at me, called me all names, and said I'm the a-hole for letting my wife deal with STDs alone. I was frozen and said, what? She said she found medicines and medical records of my wife and hung up. I'm now feeling like a mess and heartbroken. After 3 days of thinking, I came to the conclusion that it made me feel like she betrayed our agreement about the open marriage and made me scared that she tried to make me get an STD too. I feel like our marriage is over, but our son is still very young. I don't know what to do. Please give me some advice. Update, I did do an STD test. I'm healthy. My doctor still recommends a few more tests next week just to be sure. Why would she try to be intimate with you? The only thing I can think is part of their agreement probably was that she was supposed to use protection. She was out here having 2-piece spices with no napkins and ended up getting food poisoning, if you catch my drift. And so she tried to make him infected too. So then it could be like, oh, well, I got it from you. Well, was you doing something? Da, 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 da. You know, that's really crazy though. Nah, end it, bro. Like, it really saddens me when people are like, oh, I think our marriage is over, but we have kids. Honestly, it is far better for the kids to grow up in 2 separate loving households and stable households than to grow up in one unstable, unloving household. And really, you have an advantage being that your son is only 2, because at this point, if y'all separate and y'all are living separately, that will be all he ever knows. He's not gonna remember this time for real, unless he's, an anomaly. But if y'all separate now, it actually might be better for him in the long run. So I say leave her ass. She obviously got some issues she got to work through. Because if you can't even go 4 months without wanting to step out on your man who is struggling and going through some things, then I think you might have bigger fish to fry. Someone said, I'm sorry, OP, but there are so many red flags and none of those are coming from you. While you have mental and medical problems and try to deal with them, your wife decides to open your marriage and go sleep around instead of helping you get better and work on your marriage. Her intimate frustration is more important to her than your own health. That should have been your first and last clue that she is an awful person. Your wife asks you to be intimate, but your mental health hasn't been improving and you deny it with good reasons, in my opinion. She lashes out at you and leaves you and the kids. She doesn't call any of you for 2 days. I mean, your freaking son doesn't understand where his mom is and she just doesn't care at all. She found out she had an STD and is probably the real reason she left to her sister's house. To me, this is the apogee of disrespect. Not only She probably didn't take enough protections and clearly didn't care while sleeping with other men, but she tried to be intimate with you knowing there was a possibility she had an STD. You are here trying to figure out if you're an a-hole for not being concerned about something you didn't know anything about. Seriously? OP, you need to open your eyes, not just your marriage. Hey, they ate with that. You need to open your eyes, not just your marriage. Yo, someone said I wouldn't put it past her trying to give it to him and running away when that didn't work. Her acting like normal wasn't an act. Another person, I thought the same. I even thought of the possibility of her knowing fully she had an STD while trying to be intimate with OP so she could accuse him of passing it to her afterwards, exactly like her sister did. Exactly, that's what I think. They said something is clearly wrong either way. 10 days later, he said, to sum it up, 6 months ago, I had some mental and medical problems that prevented me from being intimate with her. She convinced me to get into an open marriage, and she had it for 2 months until 2 weeks ago. She suddenly wanted to be intimate again, and when I refused, she got angry and left. I couldn't contact her for a whole week until her sister called accusing me of having an affair and giving her STDs. I immediately went to the doctor and it was confirmed that I didn't have anything. I tried to contact her sister again, but I was blocked by all her family. 2 days ago, she drove home for the first time to visit our son, whom she had abandoned with me for more than a week. We sat down and talked. She admitted that she had known this person for 3 weeks before I agreed to open the relationship. I knew it. I knew it. Look, the data doesn't lie. Anytime a person suggests an open relationship, it's usually because they have already cheated or they want to cheat without a guilty conscience, and typically they already have somebody in mind. I mean, are we surprised? Anyway, he said I asked about the STDs that her sister told me about and her face turned pale. I had to urge her a few times until she admitted that she has gonorrhea and that the other partner had lied to her about his medical condition and protection methods, and he already cut off contact with her. Damn. Whew. I asked her if she knew and that she wanted to infect me that day. She was silent for a few minutes until she burst into tears and begged me to forgive her and that it was just a foolish thought in panic and fear. I lost my temper and yelled at her and kicked her out of the house and said, "We're done." I'm feeling so many emotions, heartbreak, anger. I don't know what I feel anymore, but it's so painful. I was with her for 8 years and I thought we would be together forever. Dang. My in-laws and our mutual friends all sent me a bunch of messages telling me to forgive her and that she knew she was wrong and had already gotten the karma. I should think about my son and how difficult it would be if I wanted to get custody of him, and they were right. I no longer had contact with relatives or anyone I could rely on, so I feel very hopeless. What should I do? Can I forgive her after all of this to start again? Edit, sorry for some detail I did not clarify. In my old post, I did not mention that my wife admitted she did lie to her family that I cheated on her. Don't go back to this lady, okay? She does not care about you. Someone who could know it. Actually, this is a crime. You need to call the police. I mean, a crime ended up not happening, but someone who knowingly has an STD and tries to infect you with it, that is a crime. Nobody that loves you would do that, okay? Not to mention she essentially cheated because she didn't follow the rules of the open marriage. It's dead, bro. The relationship is dead. Just move forward. Like, focus on you and your son and your mental health. You will find someone else, but her, nah, that ain't it. I wouldn't be able to forgive somebody that did something like that. And you can't trust her. There's so many things that she's done in this story. It's just like, no, this is unforgivable. This is unforgivable. Just leave. Somebody said, in my opinion, no, don't take her back. She tried to intentionally infect you as well and probably lied to people about why she left. And the fact that your in-laws blocked you during that time, but unblocked you to say stay with her is terrible. They weren't thinking about you or the baby. They were thinking about her and how she can save her marriage. Time to get a lawyer. This isn't something you can come back from. I completely agree. Another comment, my guess, she tried to infect him, so when he found out, she could claim he's the one that gave it to her. Yes, we already established that. OP also responded, her sister did text me with an apology. As far as the other family members, they say stuff like, I know you're very hurt right now, but your son needs his mom and she is very remorseful now. Please give her a chance to make it right. I didn't answer any of them. It made me feel anger every time I looked at the messages. And another update 16 days later. So first of all, thanks for anyone who gave me good advice and kind words. I'm very appreciative for the support. Now to my update. My wife and I are separating. I'm currently hiring a part-time nanny to take care of my son while I'm at work, even though I already cut back my work hours. I did find a lawyer to advise me about divorce procedures and what I would lose after the divorce. He also said I need to collect more evidence that my wife really wanted to infect me. I think it's quite hard because she doesn't want to talk about it anymore. The charges we made, such as abandonment or adultery, seem to not work either. My wife has started to visit our son 4 times a week now. She now acts like a good mother and begs me to do couples therapy. Her treatment is complete. She said that she had closed the marriage from her side and is willing to sign a post-nup if I want to give her a chance. Her family is still texting about how she's so miserable without me and our child. I kind of ignore them. I don't block them in case anything breaks down. I still have a record. That is my update. I'm still getting used to the lifestyle of just me and my child. I have agreed to marriage counseling with her this Saturday, though I don't think it'll change anything. Okay, buddy. I mean, that's what you choose to do, but I just don't believe, this is in April. Has he said anything else? I just don't believe this is fixable whatsoever. He hasn't posted anything else since then. So I hope it worked out eventually, brother, but that's not looking like a promising situation. Anyway, on to the palate cleanser. Again, we are on the road to 10,000 subscribers, so don't forget, if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button, hype up the video, hype me up. Y'all seen those videos? Hype me up. And the palate cleanser is this video I came across on TikTok. I've literally listened to this video probably like 50 times today. I'm just obsessed with it for some reason. It's this guy, he's a realtor in Utah, but in his free time, he makes singing videos. His name is Patty_sells_Edge Homes. I think that's the name of the real estate company, Edge Homes. So if you're looking for a house in Utah, hit Patty up. But also, Patty can sing. Okay, let me just play the video. I'm gonna play the whole thing too because Patty can sing. He's singing this Stevie Wonder song. I don't know, recently, maybe it's just because fall is coming. I just been all the lovey-dovey stuff. It's like, oh yes, love is in the air. Anyway, let me just play it.
Over time, I've been building my castle of love, just for 2, though you never knew you were my reason. I've gone much too far now to say that I've got to throw my castle away over trees. I've picked out a perfect come true. Oh, though you never knew it was of you I've been dreaming. Hey. Sandman has come from too far away for you to say come back some other day. And though you don't believe that they do come true. For did my dreams come true when I looked at you? And Baby, do if you do believe you too might be overjoyed over love you.
He made a face after. Man, I wish I could play a musical instrument. I played the trombone in 7th grade. I taught myself a few simple songs on like the keyboard that my parents had at our house growing up, but that is the extent. But knowing how to play like the piano or the guitar, I think would be so cool. You know, I probably could pick up the piano pretty easily. I don't have one though, or even the guitar. The guitar, I feel like would be harder because I have no background in that whatsoever. Anyway, y'all, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.